Welcome to Cruise Kibitz, where we give you all the advice that you didn't ask for.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Cruise Kibitz. Well, hopefully you know us by now, but if not, I am Cheryl, also known as Sig Cruiser.
And I am Kiki from Team Reach Travels.
And I am Siobhan from Parker's on the Go.
And together we are Cruise Kibitz. All right, so ladies, we have an interesting topic today. Now, I am sure since you guys are avid cruisers and people know that you're avid cruisers, I'm sure that you've had people to come up to you and ask you, "Hey, I want to cruise. What ship should I sail on? What ship is good for me?" Right? Have you ever had that?
Yes.
So I thought today, let's take a few ships. Let me see, one, two, three. Let's take about 4 ships and then talk about who those ships might be good for, or what type of people. If you like, this or that, which ship would be good for you? So what do you ladies think about that?
Hey, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Because it's a hard question to answer when people ask us.
It is.
I think it'd be nice
really
to talk about that.
All right, okay. So I have 4 ships on my list, so I'm just gonna go with the one that seems to be the most popular. Let's talk about Carnival. So let me ask you, Siobhan, if somebody asked you about Carnival, what would you say?
So I think for Carnival, the name is actually in the ship. They call it the fun ship, right? So I think because of that, Carnival is kind of like the ship that never sleeps. It tends to draw a younger crowd. I think no matter the age, if you do like to enjoy yourself, have fun, and make the most out of your cruise, I think Carnival is that ship for you. I feel like it's an all around age group as far as the ship is concerned. I don't think there is like a minimum or maximum age you could be. My 3-year-old niece went on her first cruise and she has not stopped talking about ships, and it was a Carnival ship. So from 3 to 100, you can cruise Carnival and have an amazing time apparently.
What would you say, Kiki?
I
Anything
would
to
agree
add
with
to
that.
that?
And honestly, whenever someone tells me they've never sailed before, I think Carnival is the perfect line for a first time cruiser. Like
Mhm.
it's just a way to have a good time. You're gonna have fun. Like you're gonna have a good time, but there's also opportunity for you to get away and relax if you want to on a Carnival ship. So it's not like you don't have to just be immersed in fun all day long every day if you don't want to, but it's available if you do want to. So that's I think it's a good line for you to figure out if you like cruising period on, because this you there's a lot of different ways that you can experience a Carnival cruise. So I do agree that it is the fun ship and you're gonna have a good time, but I think it's the perfect line for a first timer.
Okay, so let me ask you this then, both of you all. So can you think of someone who might not enjoy Carnival, Siobhan?
Probably more of a reserved cruiser. Somebody who likes to just sit back, relax, and just enjoy their cruise. I mean, I can say that I've seen on Carnival people reading their books and like playing cards and stuff like that. But I feel like if you are more of a reserved cruiser, and there are ships out there, quiet ships out there that you can sail on. I think if you're more of a reserved person, Carnival may not be that ship for you, because you also got to think too, Carnival tends to draw a lot of like I said, younger people, but also children, people with families. And if you're more of a quiet, introverted, or even just a maybe just an older cruiser just looking for that peace and quiet and that serene time, then you probably won't find that on Carnival, because they like to keep you active and they like to keep the music going and the parties and the entertainment. So for my thought, that would be who would not fit with Carnival.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anything to add to that, Kiki, before I chime in?
Well, the one thing I would say is, even if you're a reserved cruiser, if you're a reserved cruiser that likes to people watch, then you might still have a good time on Carnival, because it's a lot to see.
There is a lot to see.
Oh, yes, time. Yes.
But no, I agree. Aside from that, being a people watcher, yeah, if you're more reserved, it's probably not the best line for you.
Mhm.
But Who else would not like carnival? If you don't want kids around you at all,
True.
do not get on a carnival ship. They're going to be there. It doesn't matter how long the sailing is. It doesn't matter when the sailing is. A lot of people think that if I sail in a certain time of year when school is in session, then I'm
Does
not going
not
to
matter.
see kids. I'm telling you, I'm one of the people who take my kids out of school. We on the ship too. Don't think you ain't going to see no kids.
That's right.
So yeah, if you don't want to see kids, yeah, carnival's not the place.
No.
Yeah, and it seems like, because I cruise in the off season and I cruise mostly Carnival up to this point. And yes, there is a Kiki on every ship that brings their kids regardless. So, but I agree with both of you. I think it's a lively ship. It's full of energy. Um, but I consider myself still, even though people are trying to take the I out of my name, I still consider myself an introverted cruiser and reserved and on the quiet side. But I still find ways to enjoy Carnival. If you see my vlogs, you'll always see me tucked away on the side of a deck where nobody's around because I can find those quiet spots. So, but on the other hand, I do believe in, and I'll find this out for myself in the future. But I still, even with that, I think it may be louder than other ships. I think I agree with Siobhan, there are probably more quiet ships out there because, yeah, Carnival has a lot of announcements all day long.
Oh, I forgot about those announcements.
Yeah.
And a lot of them come right into your cabin too.
Yes, in the cabin, all over the ship, Serenity, everywhere. So they have a lot of announcements all day long. So if you're looking for total quiet, probably Carnival's not for you.
Because they are going to make sure you are a part of the fun and you want to know where the fun is happening at that moment.
Why else are you on my ship if you don't want to have fun? I
There
guess they
you
think
go.
that about
That's it.
everybody.
Yeah, and it's from the time it starts. Like you walk on and it's just fun
Yes.
right away. It's
Yeah.
already music and dancing and partying and the I've been on a number of cruise lines now, not a large number, but nobody else is like cruise. What do they call it? The cruise? I want to say cruise planner, but not cruise planner. The cruise director is
Uh-huh.
not as active on other cruise
Right.
lines as they are on cars. They really want you to have a good time, and everybody that's on that staff is there to make sure you have a good time.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Carnival has the hardest working cruise directors in the industry.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the breakdown on Carnival. So now let's talk about the next one that, of course, people are always doing the comparison on. We're not necessarily doing the comparison, but just talking about the personality of each ship. So let's move on to Royal Caribbean ships. Now I've only been on two, so I'm gonna start. Let's start with Kiki because I think this isn't Royal your favorite line.
Nah,
No, no, no. Okay,
nah.
well,
It's
don't tell
not
us
my
your favorite
favorite.
yet. Okay, don't tell us your favorite
It's a
yet.
close second.
I know what the favorite is. Okay, we'll get to that in a moment. But okay, so what do you? If somebody asked you about Royal to describe Royal ships, what would you tell them?
So I think that people who want a good mix of fun and relaxation, I think Royal is a perfect cruise line for that. I also think if you have children that are in that kind of preteen to early teenage years, I think that's a good age group for a Royal Caribbean cruise ship too, because they have a lot of the fun, like the activities on Royal are just different. Like they have the ice skating and bumper cars. They're like depending on which class of ship you get on, that ice skating, bumper cars, I fly, rock climbing, all of those different things that Carnival has a lot of stuff for small kids too, but activity wise, I think Royal has them beat when it comes to activities for kids that are getting into those older ages.
All right. Okay. So what about you, Siobhan? What do you think?
I absolutely agree. Royal for me is the middle of the road in between the fun and the quiet. But I also find that Royal tends to lean more towards adventure. So like she was saying, like Kiki was saying, the I fly, the flow rider, the zip line, they want you to have a different type of fun. They want you to have an adventurous type of fun where Carnival is more of a party type of fun.
Mhm.
So I think Royal is more or less like you can relax if you want to. That's fine. We won't bother you. Have a good time. Have a nice dinner. Have a glass of wine. Come shop in our shops because that's the first thing you see as soon as you walk on the ship. Have a slice of pizza on our mega ship. Go over and sit down to a bar. But also, if you go on the back of our ships, you can zip line. You can
Mhm.
go down the mega slide. You can go on the roller coaster. You can go. It's like we have a place for everybody here, but adventure is the word for Royal. When I think Royal, I think adventure.
That's a really good way to put
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah.
I 100% agree with that because I do think now I've only been on Royal twice, 2001 and then 2022. So,
Just a
so
few years in between.
just a few years, just a couple. And so of course, I went on Wonder of the Seas with you two ladies and had a great time. And now that I had a chance to kind of unpack everything, I think that I do need to go on it again for a longer period of time because 3 days was not enough for me to make a fair judgment. But I saw enough to see that I do agree with you, Siobhan. Is like you said, Carnival has a different kind of fun,
Mhm.
whereas Royal seems to be more adventurous. I think I would have enjoyed Royal more as far as their activities if I was a bit younger, or because back in the day, I remember going rock climbing and well, I would still do the iFly thing because I would do that. What I got to find out what ship that's on.
Age
But
is nothing but a number. I know you did not
no, no,
say,
no,
and
no.
you were
Wait,
a
no,
bit
no, no, no,
younger.
no, no. I'm not saying that I'm too old to do it. I'm saying
Okay,
I don't want to do it. So I
there's
would
a
have done it
difference.
back then. Yes, I would have done it back then. And I mean, there are things that I might try once. I mean, you guys took it. I had never done a slide before, and we went on the slide, the abyss. I had fun, but would I want to do it every time on the trip? Probably not. So I mean,
So yeah, I want to do that stuff all the time. I wanted to hit every, and like Siobhan said, adventurous. I wanted to hit every adventurous stop on the ship. We didn't have enough time to do that in 3 days.
Right, right.
yeah, but like I said, I would like to do another Royal Caribbean Oasis class ship. Oh wait, I'm doing an icon. Okay, so
And
so
Icon is
I
gonna
was
force me to get on a pool on a ship, but y'all know I do not get in nobody's pool on a
oh,
ship. But Icon is gonna make me go back on my word because oh my goodness,
Yeah.
yeah.
water parks everywhere.
So that will be a full week. So better be able to provide an opinion on this. But ladies, tell me, so who wouldn't like a royal ship? Kiki.
So if you get overly stimulated, um, anxiety around a lot of people, I don't think that's a good environment for you. So when you walk into a Royal Royal Caribbean ship, especially like the Oasis class ships, and then I've never been on a Quantum class, but even just the way that Quantum class looks in the videos and stuff that I see, if you walk on there and you get easily like anxious from too many options, too many things to do, what do I do? That's not a good place to be because this stuff literally everywhere you turn, there is something to do. I mean, at one point, we walked down the flight of stairs and just thought we were going into the next floor and we were walking into the casino and we was in the middle of the casino and didn't even realize it. So like that kind of thing on a Royal Caribbean ship can be a little overwhelming if you're not used to that, or if that's too much for you regularly on a day to day. Because like you, the same person on land as you are at sea. So if that's too much, that's probably not a good idea. Or choose one of their smaller ships that don't offer all the different activities that the more popular, larger class ships do.
Yeah, I would have to agree with her 100%. If you are overly stimulated, their smaller ships are the ships to be on.
Uh-huh.
I can attest to that.
Oh goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let me see. What? I didn't, I felt comfortable. I actually liked the size of the ship. But let me see, who wouldn't? No. I I guess I would say anybody, I guess the opposite of carnival, anybody who's just really looking to, for a high energy atmosphere, almost all day long, and who likes to, party in the clubs all night long. And I can't speak to Royals clubs personally because I haven't been in a Royal club. But so I'm not sure how different the energy is. I hear it's different, sometimes, or it may depend on the sailing. But I
It's
guess
different.
okay.
Very much so.
Yeah.
And one thing I didn't get to experience, another thing that I hear, that the comedy shows, because I'm a comedy show fanatic, on Carnival. So I hear that may be a slightly different experience as well.
Also different. Yeah. All of that is different. The comedy shows, the regular clubs, the entertainment overall is
Yes,
an extremely different
it's
experience
different.
on Royal
Yes.
than it is
Oh,
from
and, oh, and that reminds me. So, and I will say, because this is one of my negatives, because I'm, solo and free flowing or whatever, and I don't like to make reservations. I don't like planning.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
noticed, and I know it's a lot other ships do that as well, where you have to make reservation for the activities because I sailed Carnival a lot, and when I do things, it's just spur of the moment, just what I feel like doing at the moment. So have to plan on Tuesday at 7 o'clock. I'm going to this show, and on Wednesday at 8 o'clock I'm going to that show. I don't really care for it. I would do it, but if I had a choice, yeah, I probably wouldn't want that. So
Yeah.
maybe somebody who doesn't like to make reservations or something.
That's a good point because if you don't like to do that on Royal and you don't do that, there's a good chance you're not going to get to do the things that you like.
Right.
Right, right.
So, yep. You know what? The other thing that I thought about of people that might not like Royal is if you like intimacy of a small ship,
Mm.
that's probably not the best line either, at least not the larger class ships,
Mhm.
because I don't know about y'all. In 7 days, I still didn't halfway know where I was going most of the time. So if you like getting on the ship and feeling like you can easily navigate your way and figure out very quickly how to get where you're going,
Uh-huh.
that I didn't feel like that ever on
Mm.
either of the royal ships that I got.
Yeah,
And
that's
yeah,
true.
yeah, I agree. Yeah. All right. All right. So we ready to tackle another ship?
Let's do it.
All right, so this one I don't have experience with, so I'm gonna have to, leave it to you all. So let's talk about Disney. All right.
So happy.
All right. So, Siobhan, when was your last cruise, and what ship did you sail?
Oh my goodness. We just got back off a Disney cruise like 4 days
Oh,
ago.
boy,
And
so this is
we were on the
fresh.
Disney Magic
This
and it
is
was
fresh.
magical.
All right, give us your fresh opinion. If somebody asked you about Disney, what would you say?
Disney is for the young, the old, the child at heart, the child, the one who believes in magic, the one who doesn't. Disney is for everybody. And if you didn't love Disney before you got on the ship, you're certainly gonna love it when you get
Um,
off. I just felt I was the biggest kid dolt. Did you hear me? The biggest kid dolt on that ship. Just meeting the different, and it's like you are aware of what's happening here. I know what's happening here. I know when I look at Goofy, I know what that's about. But it's still goofy. Okay? Like it's goofy.
Mm-hmm.
I know when I see Mickey and Minnie, I understand what's happening, but it's Mickey and Minnie. I mean, the sail parties alone, the pirate night, the food, the entertainment. I mean, I could go on and on. I have been converted into a Disney lover.
converted.
I love to see it. I love to see it.
You know, it used to be Royal. Royal had my
Oh
heart.
wow.
I can honestly say, if you have never sailed before, please do not take a Disney cruise first. They will ruin everybody else for you.
Mm-mm.
Mm,
Don't do it. Don't don't do it. You just
It's the
setting yourself
level
up
of
for
service.
disappointment.
Yes.
All right. Well, I know Kiki just, I mean, I'm sorry, but I think she feels differently than you do. So, I mean, just let's share. Am I right, Kiki? I mean, what do you think?
You are wrong, sure. Wrong, wrong, wrong. I love Disney. I think Disney is for everybody too. But I love it so much. And the people that I think would love Disney the most, first of all, if you enjoy Broadway style shows, their entertainment just blows every other entertainment I've ever experienced on the ship away. Like that, when you talk about Broadway caliber entertainment, the people, the singing, the music, the stage, all of it feels like you literally sitting on Broadway.
It is
And
amazing.
it is. And then like Siobhan was saying, just the magic of Disney and like walking through the halls and it's just Disney music playing everywhere. And you feel like a big kid when you're experiencing the character meet and greets. You know, you can get that at the parks too, but at the parks, you're like in the heat, it's hot, you tired, you've been in lawn all day, you've been walking all day. To be able to experience the magic that you feel at the parks, somewhere
Yes.
where I can also get the relaxation. The service is just top notch. If you enjoy a good meal, the food is just top notch. Like I can't really think of anybody that wouldn't enjoy it unless you don't want kids around you. That's about the only thing because it's gonna be kids there.
All right. Well, like I said, I haven't been on a Disney ship, but I want to go on a Disney ship. I do want, that's an experience I want to have because I was, now I haven't, like I have the Disney Channel. I don't watch a lot of TV because I don't have time. But I will say, growing up, I was a Disney fanatic. You know, back in my day with the Mickey Mouse Club and everything, that was my start, and just all the classic Disney cartoons. You know, I loved all of those, and then I kind of got away from Disney as I grew up. But I would love to go back. You know, so I'm
Do
looking
it.
forward to doing it one day. But with all of the positivity that you all said about Disney, I am quite sure that there is a couple, maybe one or two people out there that would not enjoy Disney. Oh, who would they be, Siobhan?
People who don't like kids. There is not one date that you can pick a Disney cruise that there will not be kids. There's no time of year. People take their kids out of school to
Mhm.
cruise Disney. I saw so many kids with homework packets on these ship doing homework beside the
Would be
pool.
larger.
Yeah, like there's, if you just don't like kids, if you don't like babies, if you don't like crying, if you just don't like Disney, it's not for you. And I'm 100% believe if you like them a little bit, it will convert you. But if you just, I mean, we met somebody who was just like, oh, the wife was like, oh, I love your shirt. And Brandon and I had a Powerline shirt on, and she looked at her husband. She was like, he knows nothing about that. He was like, I'm just here because she wanted to go. It's not for that guy.
Okay.
Okay. It's
Yeah.
not for him.
Okay. He's that one person. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you think of anybody else, Kiki?
Honestly, that's it. If you don't like kids and you don't like Disney, you gotta have some kind of love of Disney because you're just gonna be immersed in Disney spirit, culture, music all day long. You'll be walking down the hallway and all of a sudden, like Goofy will be sitting there, or you'll be sitting there eating dinner, and like Tiana is gonna come out and sing to you. Like it's just that kind of feel. So if you don't like Disney, probably not good for you if you don't like kids, especially if you don't like kids, because Disney, what I've noticed with them, you see a lot more smaller kids on Disney than you do on some of the
That
other
is so
lines. You don't
true.
see kids on every cruise line, or every cruise line that allows kids, but there are a lot of people who take arm babies, toddlers, kids in
Uh-huh.
strollers. You see a lot more of that on Disney than you do on some of these other cruise lines. So
Mm.
it's
I think I know somebody else. I think I know some other people who might not like Disney from what I hear. Those people who are shopping for those $100 cruises, they
no.
might not
Yeah,
like.
they're not gonna like Disney.
Yeah. They look, they ain't gonna get a chance to not like Disney because they ain't gonna
No,
find it shopping for
nope,
$100.
nope. You got to be ready. When I say ready, you got to be ready to
Yeah.
book Disney. And if you are not ready, it's not your cup of tea.
Yeah.
Not your cup of tea.
All right. All right. Well, ladies, I have one more that I want to ask about. Again, this is another one that I have not been on. How about those Virgin voyages? So, have you been on Virgin, Kiki?
I have not. So I've been living vicariously through everybody else's vlogs, but I've not been on. So Siobhan gonna have to tell us a little bit about that one.
Yeah, so tell us about this, Siobhan. I will be on Virgin later this year. So what do I need to tell me about it? Siobhan, what
Vir-
is Virgin like?
oh my God. It is completely different. I'm trying to think if I ever even remembered seeing a cruise director. I don't even think I did do the inaugural sailing. It is completely different. It is 100% kid free. I am 40 years old on my spring break. I am reliving my youth. There's not a kid in the world. I can do what I want to do. I can say what I want to say. I ain't got to worry about somebody kid running into me at the buffet. Because guess what? There is no buffet. I can eat at all these restaurants and try these different foods, and it won't cost me a dime. All the restaurants are included. They don't have drink packages. They have bar tabs, and you can share with your friends, and it's all about one big party of love. And I'll stop there.
It sounds like they literally took every other cruise line and was like, what do they do? Okay, do the exact
Do
opposite.
the exact opposite of what every other cruise line do. When I tell you, even if you could bring kids on that cruise line, I don't think they would even survive it, because the level of your palate. I had to adjust my palate because my husband is a simple eater, so I'll try things, but I tend to lean towards what he eats. I had to adjust my palate when it came to the food because the food was so different and so much above what we eat every single day. Just the level of food by in itself is enough to make you want to experience it.
No chicken
Um,
tenders and mac and cheese?
no chicken tenders and mac and
I know.
cheese. There might be a deconstructed mac and cheese, but there will not be chicken tenders beside it. But yeah, it's definitely something to experience at least once. If you are more of a structured cruiser, it's not the cruise line for you.
Mm.
If you are more of a free flowing cruiser, it's probably the cruise line for you. If you like people popping up and singing and dancing at random times, it's a cruise line for you.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
I
mean, it
do
was
enjoy a
the
good
time where I
flash
was
mob
having.
every now and then. So
Yeah, we were literally having a random conversation with somebody that we realized they worked for the ship, and they were like, "Hold on a second, I'll be right back." And they got up and just started dancing in a flash mob, and I was like, "What's happening?" Like we were just sitting here having a conversation, and now he's dancing, and then he came back and sat down and finished the conversation. I was like, "Okay, cool."
Wow. Well,
I have a
yes.
question too. Can I ask a question real quick?
Yes, of course.
So the one thing I hear about Virgin a lot is that they don't have the typical like main dining room setup. So like if somebody really looks forward to that main dining setup and that's one of the highlights of their cruise, do you think that they would enjoy the way that the food setup is on Virgin still? Do you think it's enough to convert that person to a Virgin lover?
If you enjoy like the cruise dining setup, I don't know, because Virgin is more or less like 20 different high-end restaurants on one ship.
Mm.
So you're gonna find more of a out on Miami Beach and stopping in for dinner somewhere type of vibe versus a hey, let's all gather around in the dining room while the crew sings and dance. You're not gonna get that. So if that is more of your thing, Virgin may not be for you, but Virgin is more or less of a free, it's like I said, it's a free spirit cruise. I will say this, and I know the question is going to be asked. I don't know I know nothing about jumping in pools. I know nothing about secret parties. I know nothing about special items because maybe we just weren't cool enough to get those invitations. And I am perfectly okay with that.
Okay with that.
But my experience was they don't exist. And as long as I'm in my happy bubble, I'm fine with that.
You don't feel like you missed out on any of those specialty
Not
experiences?
at all. Not at all.
Well, I think that's an interesting point because, like I said, I'm going later this year, and I am one that I usually don't do like main dining, on the cruise ships. Of
Mhm.
course, like when I dine on Carnival, like I'll go to Shebang, I'll go to a restaurant. But for the most part, even for dinner, if I could just, get something quick on the Lido deck, I'm good. Or I might just get something for room service. I'm good. I don't necessarily need to sit down, eat dinner, especially late at night. So I'm kind of curious as to what that experience is going to be like for me. And, am I going to be a Virgin fan or, am I going to be, one of those who don't really care for it? So we'll see.
Well, I
What,
will
what do
say
you think,
this.
Siobhan? How am I gonna like Virgin?
I'm not sure. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm not sure that you are. Um, I think you will enjoy the food options because they are very heavy on the food options for people with allergies, people that are vegan, all that. They're very heavy on that.
Hmm.
I think you will enjoy the eating options. Um, places like Gun Bay. If you go to Gun Bay, well, that's like a Korean barbecue style place. You're going to be sat with people you don't know.
Hmm.
So it's not like you can just go in and grab a table. So if you're not comfortable with that, that may not be, a restaurant that you visit.
Hmm.
Um, but people don't really leave you alone. They want you to they want to talk, they
Mhm.
want to be friendly, they want you to have a good time, and they want you to relive your teen years. So you
Yes.
it's going to be a coin
Okay.
toss for you because
All
I feel
right.
like as far as the food is concerned, you're going to have an amazing food trip on Virgin,
Hmm.
but everything else might be a coin flip.
All right.
I
So
was
if
just
I,
sitting here thinking about Cix sitting there in one of her introverted moments and a random person just busting out into a flash mob in her face and how well that would go over.
I don't know how well. I will say this though, there is like a upscale type cafeteria vibe
Oh,
you
Mhm.
get from there. And I say that because there is a place where you can go and actually you sit down and the wait staff comes up to you and you can pick between I think it's like 5 different restaurants
Mhm.
in that area and order food and you can order from all of them if you want to.
Okay.
But yeah, so there is that kind of Lido vibe without it being Lido.
Okay.
okay.
All
Yeah.
right. Okay. We'll see. I'll give my final thoughts on another podcast later this year.
I'm excited to know.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait to hear your experience with it.
All right. Well, ladies, I think this has been fun. So we broke down Carnival, Royal, Disney, and Virgin. Talked about the personalities of each ship and who it might be good for and who it might not be good for. Any final thoughts? Any final words before we close this one out?
My last thought is if you go on a Disney cruise, just prepare yourself not to be able to listen to regular radio for a couple of days.
Uh
Hmm.
oh.
You're going to have to decompress yourself from all the magical music.
Hmm.
You
True.
can't get it out
Very
of
true.
your head.
You cannot get, and it's going to feel weird listening to regular music once you leave this ship. You're going to be like,
Wow.
wait, I thought I was listening to for the first time in forever. What happened?
All right. Well, Kiki, well, can you tell them, hey, what if people want to get in touch with us?
So there's a number of ways to get in touch with us. You can email us at cruisekibitz@gmail.com. You can reach out to us in Instagram DMs on our Cruise Kibitz Instagram page or any of our individual Instagram pages. That's Parkers on the Go, Sig Cruiser, and Team Reese Travels. You can comment on a YouTube video. You can reach out to our email, cruisekibitz@gmail.com. So many ways to get a hold of us.
Numerous ways, no excuses, numerous ways.
Yes.
All right, ladies, well, if it's okay with you, I think we'll call this a podcast.
Sounds good to me.
Let's do it.
All right, well, happy cruising.
Happy
All
Happy
cruising.
cruising.
right.